Hi, this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing a demonstration on how to knit the waffle stitch. Yes, I was just curious because we usually do the crocheting for the waffle stitch. And I found that there's a waffle stitch that you can knit. So for today's tutorial I will be doing a demonstration on that. And while I do that, I was at Michael's. I've been looking for these needles for like I think 2 years now. They're from Germany, and when you order it, it comes to like 50 Canadian. So I saw them at Michael's and I got so excited because $50 was pretty high, and plus we have to pay custom fees. Anything we pay over 20 Canadian dollars. So I got these. They were for sale for $10, and I had a 50% off coupon. It came to $5. Can you believe it or not? Okay, the reason I wanted to try these because it's single point knitting needles. Let me get the closer look. Okay, if you can see the tip, it's different. And I like different things. And it says here, ergonomic design, so it's good for your hand. That's what it shows. And I searched it up because I have problems with my left arm, right? So I thought this would be great. And it says here too, single point knitting needles. It's high performance synthetic material. It's very light. It's very light. I can tell you that it's plastic. And if you look at it, it's a square. And it's pretty long when you compare to other knitting needles. And the hook tip, as I showed, it's totally different. See the tip? It's easily pick up and smoothly guide yarn, it says. Well, I have been knitting with this since I got it, and yes, it's true. And it says here, click heads. Hold needles together to secure knitting. So what I did is, while I was knitting, like let's say you usually put your knitting away and then you go do something. The phone rings, the door rings, never ends, right? Because when you're knitting. So what you do is, there's the end and the beginning of the needle. You just click it. Did you hear it? And then you click the other end, just like this, and your knitting is in between, and you just leave, put it on, throw it on the couch, and when you come back, it secures. So this was one of the things I like about it. But mostly it's very light and it's long, like I can cast on so many stitches. And the last but the least, as I said, the triangle shape allows stitches to slide freely along the needle. Wow. Well, I had to try it, right? So that's why I knitted it, and it does slide, but it's not. I notice it's not smooth enough. Like I've been knitting with my circular needles, right? And I don't like the bamboo ones because that's it's between bamboo and these steel needles that I knit with. Bamboo, like I have a hard time, it doesn't slide easily, but this is like between that too. So maybe I'm new to it. Like I've been using these regular needles, right? So these slide very easily. So maybe that's the why. I just did a couple of, I think I did 2 dishcloth with this new knitting needles. By the way, I had maybe hundreds of, well, I don't want to go overboard, but I had like 2 vases of knitting needles and I wasn't using them, so I sold them. And I sold them for like $10 for one vase and $20 for another vase, just to, get rid of the clutter. But so I said I'm not going to buy any more long straight needles like this. But when I saw this, I said I have to try it. You're just curious, right? So I picked the smallest one they had, and it was US 8, and this is how it looks like. the sliding, it's just throwing me out. Maybe I'll get used to it, I don't know. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use these needles, and they're pretty long. I might touch my table while I'm knitting. So I'm going to grab the yarn. The box is here. It's a pretty long box. Yeah, it says here. It says here. It says 14 inches. That is pretty long, isn't it? For $5. Oh, it's nothing. Okay, so I'm going to grab my famous cotton yarns that I have in my stash. And by the way, I sold lots of cotton yarns too. I did give away as well on so for those who haven't subscribed, please go and subscribe. Share it with your family or friends, my tutorials, because I'm going to do another giveaway. This year I'm going to start on end of September. October. Well, September I will post a video. And yeah, I gave away like 7 huge boxes. And I hope they enjoy those yarns. Okay, let's go back to the tutorial. This tutorial is going to be a review and plus how to knit the waffle stitch for knitters like you, like me. So I grabbed my handy dandy 100% cotton yarn. Oops, it fell. Great. Okay, I'm just going to grab it here. And then, as soon as I find the end, I will cast on total of 30, because you need a multiple of 3 plus 1, so 31 stitches. So cast on 31 stitches and I'll be back to start the tutorial. Okay, I ended up casting on 34 because I just wanted to use all the yarn that I have. I hate wasting yarn. So yeah, multiple of 3 plus 1, so I have 34. And we're going to start on the first row. You can make baby blankets, you can make cardigans, you can make sweaters, you can make anything with this pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip the first stitch as to knit, yarn on the back, and the first two stitches are going to be purl yarn on the front. Knit 1 stitch, and this is all to it. We knit 1, we purl 2, we knit 1, we purl 2, all the way to the end, just like this. And this stitch is done in 4 rows, and it's just a repeat of the 4 rows. Yeah, so we did 2 purl, 1 knit, 2 purl, 1 purl, 2nd purl, just like this, and then 1 knit. Purl, purl, knit, yarn on the back, yarn on the front, yarn on the back. So I'll meet you at the end. Knit 1, purl 2. Okay, so I am at the end. I did 1 knit, 2 purl, and then the last stitch is a knit stitch, yarn on the back, just like this. If you're wondering why the yarn is coming from the top, it's on my neck. Just to let you know, I knit Turkish style. My tension is around my neck. Okay, so we did the first row, and now the back row, the wrong side of the row, is going to be 1 purl, 2 knit, and that's a repeat. So I'm just gonna slip as to knit, so yarn on the front, because I don't like knitting the first stitches. Sometimes you play around with it. Okay, and then the 2 stitches is a knit, just like this. So 1 purl, yarn on the front, and 2 knit, yarn on the back, just like this. Okay, and continue knitting like this all the way to the end, and I will meet you at the end. 1 purl, 2 knit, 1 purl, 2 knit. Okay, so I'm at the end as well. And the last stitch was I did a purl, yarn on the front. I'm going to do 2 knits, yarn on the back, and last one is a purl stitch, yarn on the front. So and we're on the right side of the work, and this is how it looks so far. You can't see anything yet, but now we're going to do on the wrong side, 3rd row, we're going to do is knit all the stitches all the way to the end. And that's all we're going to do on the 3rd row on the wrong side of our dishcloth. So continue knitting, yarn on the back all the way to the end, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I have knit all the way to the end, and this is how it looks like on this is the right side of the work, and this is the wrong side of it. Can't see anything yet. So on the wrong side, what we're going to do is, this is the 4th row, we're just going to do purl, yarn on the front. I'm slipping it as to purl, and I'm just going to purl, yarn on the front just like this all the way to the end. And this is all to it, so we're going to repeat what we did. 1st row we did 1 knit, 2 purl, 1 knit. 2nd row we did the opposite. If you look at it, we're doing opposite what we're doing on the previous row. For the 2 rows, we're just following what we're doing. And if you get lost, just write it down on a piece of paper like I did. There's no written pattern. It's just this is all to it. You just cast on, if you want to cast on for a baby blanket, cast on multiple of 3 plus 1 to create this lovely stitch. There's always a similar waffle stitch how to crochet. There's always a knit version of it, so don't think, oh, I only crochet, I don't know how to knit. Like, there's always way to create that same similar stitch. If you don't know how to knit, if you don't know how to crochet, there's always a stitch that you can create. So I'm just going to continue crocheting like this. I'm just going to repeat what I did for the 4 rows. And then I'll come back and I'll show you how it looks like. At the end, I'll try to finish the ball. Okay, I just want to show you how you click this thing. Just love it. Okay, let's say if the doorbell rang and then you just had to leave this. So you, oh, I think it clicked already while I was talking. Oh. Okay, so you click it here. Let me see. Click it there. And then I already clicked it, I guess. Yeah, I did. Oops. Yeah. You need to click it hard before you leave so you won't lose your stitches. Let me see. Yeah, you have to click it, like you have to hear that sound. See? Ta-da! And then you just leave and you run for the doorbell or the phone. And that's all to it. So I think I'm going to enjoy this knitting needles. I didn't want to pay. When I say 50, it's the plus the shipping, right, to Canada from Germany. And I believe that's how much it was going to cost me. So I saved, I waited to patient, and I got my knitting needles. So this is the smallest sizes they had at Michael's, at my local local Michael's store. They have bigger knitting needles, and they also have double pointed needles, but I like circular, so I try not to get double pointed. And you just click it back, so then you continue knitting. So I'm just going to repeat what I did, and it was, oops, 1 knit, 2 purl. I'm just going to repeat what I did on the 1st row, and I'll meet you. I'll crochet, I'll knit as long as how much yarn I have. This is a small little ball, like I think it's only 41 gram, I believe. It's very tiny, 42. Yeah, 42, 1 point. So I'll try to use up all the yarn, and we'll see how big it's going to be. This is not going to be that wide. I'll still measure it, and I'll come back to show you how it looks like. So it's just a repeat of the 4 rows. Okay, this is the finished look, and this is how it looks like. I have used the entire ball, and I have did one of my famous edging. I crocheted the edge. I will put the link below, but I didn't put the, what you call those, jigs, picots. I just did it double crochet instead of doing the picots because I knew I wouldn't have enough yarn. So this is how it looks like. I just wanted to share you this tutorial on how to knit the waffle stitch, and I hope you liked it. As I said, there's always a stitch with knitting and crocheting familiar stitches. If you say, oh, I couldn't find it, there is always. So there is a waffle stitch on how to knit the waffle stitch. I hope you like this tutorial. Please share it with your family and friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe, and happy knitting!